If you like my videos and you want such more videos, then do like, share and consider subscribing. For the notification, do not forget to tap the notification icon. Thank you. So the next cell organelle which we are going to discuss is lysosome. For example, like in your body, if there are organs which perform a particular function, similarly in the cell organelles perform particular function. For example, controlling is done by the nucleus, the synthesis and transportation is done by the endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria is acting as a powerhouse. Now, lysosome is one cell organelle which is called as suicidal bag or digestive bag. So, there are two names given to the lysosome, one as suicidal bag and another one is digestive bag. Lysosomes are membrane bound, only one membrane is there, membrane bound sac like structure. Now, why it is called suicidal bag and why it is called digestive bag? Now, why it is called a digestive bag? So, see, whatever the foreign materials or whatever is not required in the cell is there in the cell, that is being digested by the lysosome. So, what it is having? It is having digestive enzymes into it. So, all those things are digested by the lysosomes. Therefore, it is called a digestive bag. Now, here comes some time when the cell is not having enough food. Means at the time of starvation, when the cell is not having enough food and it cannot retain it for long time. So at that time, the lysosomes engulfs, it just eats its cell its own. Means ये अपने cell को खुद खा जाता है. Therefore, it is called as suicidal bag. Suicide means killing yourself. So when there is no food, the time of starvation, the cell is eaten by the lysosome itself, therefore it is called a suicidal bag. Again, lots of question comes from that, why lysosome is called digestive bag or why lysosome is called suicidal bag. Digestive bag because they digest every foreign material, whatever is not wanted in the cell. So why it is called suicidal bag? I am repeating again, at the time of starvation means when there is not enough food, when the cell is not able to retain itself for a long time, then the lysosome eats it up. So that's why it is called suicidal bag. So it is a membrane bound, single membrane bound sac like structure which contains digestive enzymes. So let's move to the next cell organelle, that is vacuole. Now, before I commence with this topic, let me ask you a question. That do you remember when I was drawing the plant cell, I had drawn a cell organelle which pushed the nucleus to the periphery. If you have not noticed till now, just look back at your pages and see that there was a cell organelle which has pushed the nucleus to the periphery, but that is only in the plant cell. Let me draw that again in case if you are not remembering. This was a plant cell. And there was a cell organelle which has pushed the nucleus to the periphery. Periphery means to the corner. Now, what was this cell organelle? This is the vacuole I am talking about. Now, if you compare this cell with the animal cell, you will see there is nothing like that in case of animal cell. So, what is vacuole and why it is like that? In plant cell it is different and animal cell is different. Vacuole is single membrane bound cell organelle which is like sac like structure. Now, what is the speciality about the vacuole? It contains cell sap. What is cell sap? Cell sap is water plus sugar plus salt. So, the cell sap is present in the vacuole. Now, what is the function of the cell sap? The vacuole keeps on absorbing water to make the cell turgid, make the cell stiff. So if there is less water in the vacuole, it will not let the cell stand upright. So the turgidity is maintained by the vacuole due to the presence of cell sap. In case of plants, when there is a lot of loss of water, then the plant cell keeps drying out, means the desiccation of plant cell happens. So to maintain the turgidity of the cell, the vacuole is needed. It also stores the things inside it, and they are different in the plant cell and animal cell. As I've seen in the plant cell, there is only one large vacuole. There is no other vacuole, only one large vacuole. Whereas in the case of animals, there are many vacuoles, but very small in size. It may be present, it may not be present. So we can differentiate the plant cell and animal cell on this basis also, that the vacuole present in the plant cell is large and one, whereas vacuole present in the animal cell may be a lot of them, maybe few, and very small in size. So that is all about the vacuole. So let's discuss about one more cell organelle, that is Golgi bodies, or Golgi apparatus also it is called. Golgi bodies. It was discovered by Camillo Golgi, therefore it is named like this. Now what is Golgi body? Again, it is single membrane bound cell organelle and only present in animal cell. The plant cell does not contain the Golgi bodies. So Golgi bodies are single membrane bound cell organelle present in animal cells. Now if they are present in only animal cell, what about the plants? What is there in the plants? The plants contain dactosomes. So instead of having Golgi bodies, the plants is having dactosomes. So what is the function of Golgi bodies? Now if you remember that in endoplasmic reticulum there was the synthesis of the things. Now what is Golgi bodies doing? It is just doing the next step of that, means it is doing the modification, packaging and transporting of the material. So you can say that they are like just like movers and packers. So they are packing the stuff and they are transporting it to the place, to the site they are needed. For example, the lipids and the proteins are modified, packaged and transported to the site where they are needed. So Golgi bodies do this thing. Along with that, the digestive enzymes, it produces enzymes also. So lysosomes are produced by the Golgi bodies. So they are the two functions they are doing. They are just like secretory organelles. They secrete, they release, and then they transport it to the sites they are needed. So the function of the Golgi bodies is to secrete. They are secretory organelles. And they produce lysosomes. So basically what they are doing, they are packaging, modifying and doing the transportation. So this is all about the Golgi bodies. Do again remember, Golgi bodies is only in the animal cell. In case of the plants, the dactosomes is present. So this is also one point of difference between plant cell and animal cell. Then we have centrosomes. Centrosomes are only present in animal cell and they are used during the cell division. So again, one point of difference between the plant cell and animal cell, that the centrosomes, I am writing that here, centrosomes are present only in animal cells and they help in the cell division. So this is all about the cell organelles, means all the smaller cellular structures which is present in the cell and their function. We have seen how is the structure of these cell organelles and what function they do. So this is about the cell organelles. Here we are almost at the end of the chapter, and before we end the chapter, let's understand the different type of the cell according to the structure of the nucleus. If you remember that we have discussed about nucleus earlier in this chapter, that what is nucleus and what is its function. Now before I start with that topic, let me make you understand the nucleus in a much better way. We have discussed that, but let me draw the diagram that how a nucleus look like. As I've already discussed that nucleus is the control center of the cell, means the cell is being controlled and coordinated by the nucleus. So all the activities the cell does is controlled and coordinated by the nucleus. So how does nucleus look like? Now nucleus is almost like a cell. It is having a nuclear membrane. The difference is that the nuclear membrane is impermeable, whereas the cell membrane was selectively permeable. So what if it is not permeable? The things can transport it through? No. If it is not permeable, the things will not transport through it. So it is having nuclear pores for the transportation. Inside the nuclear membrane is the cytoplasm of the nucleus, that is nucleoplasm or the karyoplasm. So inside the nucleus you will find the nucleoplasm, and there is a small spherical structure inside it which is called as nucleolus. So this is nuclear membrane. These are the nuclear pores. And this is the nucleoplasm. Now inside it you will find thread-like structures, that is chromatin material. So this is the nucleus which you have seen was attached with endoplasmic reticulum. So we have discussed the function also, that what is the function of the nucleus. Now what happens when the cell division takes place, this thread-like structure which is called as chromatin thread or chromatin material, it starts getting thickening up, means it becomes thick and it turns into chromosomes. The chromosomes is containing DNA which is having genes which is responsible for the transfer of the hereditary traits from one generation to another generation. So what is happening during the cell division, whatever is required information is passing through generation to generation due to the presence of the genes. That is the functional part of the DNA. So that is about the nucleus. Now not all the cell is having the similar kind of nucleus or the nucleus which we have drawn over here. So what is the difference? Now when the life began on earth, it was a very simple cell with a very simple structure and a very simple organization. Whatever cell organelles we are discussing right now were not present in that cell. It was a prokaryotic cell. So what is prokaryotic cell and what the cell is what we are discussing here. This is a eukaryotic cell. So what is the difference between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, that we are going to understand now. So let's understand the nature of the cell, that is prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Pro means old. So these cells are old cells. These cells are the new cells. Now what we mean by old cells and what we mean by new cells, as I've already said, that when life originated on earth, the cell was very simple in structure and organization. It was not at all having all the cell organelles which we have discussed just now. So what it was having? Just a few cell organelles, that is ribosomes, which are not membrane bound, and the nucleus was not that developed. It means the nucleus we just discussed right now was not developed in the case of prokaryotic cell. So those cells are called as old cells. The eukaryotic cells has originated from the prokaryotic cell itself, but they have changed their structures. They are having much more elaborate structure in case of eukaryotic cell. So they are comparatively new as compared to the prokaryotic cell. Now, the prokaryotic cell is not having true nucleus, means the nucleus is not developed. Whereas eukaryotic cell, true nucleus is present. Now, these cells may not contain membrane bound cell organelles. Membrane bound cell organelles are absent. Whereas membrane bound cell organelles are present. What else? The size of the cell is very small. The size of the cell is larger than this. So these are some of the main points of the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Let's see the examples of each of them. Now eukaryotic cell, the example is you, means the human being, the plants, the animals, the example is that. Whereas in the prokaryotic cell, the example is bacteria. The bacteria is a prokaryotic cell, means it is not having all those structures which we have discussed in the eukaryotic cell is not there in the case of bacteria. So all those structures which we have discussed in the eukaryotic cell is not present in the bacteria. So bacteria is a very good example of the prokaryotic cell. So on the basis of the structure of the nucleus, we can differentiate between a cell that is a prokaryotic cell and a eukaryotic cell. Well, that is a very big difference. Means if the cell is different from each other, then the complete process will be different from each other. Therefore, the prokaryotic cells are grouped separately from the eukaryotic cell. You will study about that in your class 9, that what the difference leads up to. Now, we have almost ended the chapter. If you remember that I have told you to leave some space in the differences between plant cell and animal cell. Now we are going to see the differences related to the cell organelles. That what are the cell organelles that is present in the plant cell and what is not present in the plant cell. So I am again drawing that column, plant cell and animal cell. Here I am not repeating the differences which we have already discussed. I am going to write those differences which we have found out when we were studying about the cell organelles. So what are the cell organelles that is present in the plants? Plastids are present in the plants. Plastids are present. Here plastids are absent. Second, one large vacuole is present. Many small vacuoles are present. The dactylosome is present. Golgi bodies are present. Centrosomes absent. Centrosomes present. So this enumerate all the differences between the plants and an animal cell. Before that we discussed about that plant cell is larger in size compared to the animal cell. Plant cell is having a rectangular shape. plant cell is having the cell wall, whereas all these things are not there in the animal cell. So here your chapter finishes, and here what we have discussed in this chapter is all about the cell. Cell, which is the basic unit of life, means everybody's body is made up of cell. How the brick constitutes a building, whether the building is a school or a shopping mall or a hotel or a house, the bricks are found everywhere and they are forming the structure of the building. Similarly, the cell is present as the basic unit of life to form the structure of each and every living organism. So the cell may be one or the cell may be many, but they are present in all the living organisms, and cell is capable of doing all the function that is required for its survival itself. So it is not depending on others. But yes, multicellular organisms have group of cells which work together for the better functioning of the body. So they kind of distribute the workload that is happening in the multicellular body. And here the cells are existing in different numbers, they are existing in different shape, they are existing in different size. So there are a lot of varieties in that, but cell is capable of doing functions. And how it is capable of doing function? We have just seen that it contains the cell organelles and the cell membrane, the cytoplasm and the nucleus, which is helping it to perform the function. So a very small cell is capable of doing all the function with the help of these different cellular structure. So that's why the cell is very important, and there is a complete branch of science that deals with the study of cell, that is called cell biology. So that is all about this chapter, that is cell structure and function. Do all the questions in your notebook, that is very short questions and short answers.